Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Wandering Wellspring. This is the tarot for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Mars, or Venus for the month of March. And now I do this differently than others you may have seen. Before I do these videos, I go ahead and meditate on the energy of your sign and then get visions. So in this video, I'll start with telling you the vision I got and then interpreting a little bit in regards to what you might be encountering or just needing to focus on and deal with for the month of March. And then from there, I'll pull oracle cards and tarot cards and we'll dig into those. This is a general reading, so it's for the collective, so it may or may not resonate or fit your situation. But yeah, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to hear, what you want to see, what kind of content. And especially during this time, human contact is huge. So commenting is a really great way to help the YouTube algorithm. Of course, along with liking and subscribing. Also, if there's some decks that you like in this video, I will be mentioning the decks in the description below. Sometimes I mention them in the videos, but otherwise it's in the description below. Capricorn, so welcome to your reading for March 2021. The way I like to do this is usually I let you know the vision I had during my meditation time for you, and then after that we go with oracle cards and then tarot cards as led. So your vision was basically you were kind of like walking to shore. So you were in the water, but you're walking out of it. So it wasn't the point that you needed to swim anymore. You were just kind of walking out of it and coming to shore. But you had a kite with you. You were taking a kite with you. And I asked what the kite was. And I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Hook. In it where basically in the scene what happens is they end up pretending, well, that's pretending really, so no quotes, but they end up pretending that they're eating food and they're all, having their feast. And there's a scene, if I remember correctly, where there's a wooden bowl and you look at the wooden bowl and they take, like the kid, it's one of the kids, one of the Lost Boys, takes a spoon and like scoops it out, and either actually, well, no, okay, in the movie, takes a spoon, scoops it out, and then like starts a food fight with it. Okay? Well, in the vision, instead it was taking the spoon, scooping it out, and eating it. And it was almost like that scene, except for, like I said, it wasn't starting a food fight, and it was taking the spoon, scooping it out, and eating it. Eating it as if it was real. So, I don't know for sure. We'll see more in the cards. But so far what I'm getting from that is basically kite is your hope, but also your imagination. So it's like maybe your hope and your imagination, you're trying to take it with you. You're trying to get to this new venture or trying to... It's almost like, you're reaching the shore, you're grasping on to something. You're grasping to something tangible. By the tangible, I mean the shore, like, touching dry land. And you're walking out onto it. But at this point, like that might have been before, but at this point where you are it's literally like, it's there and you're good. Like you're going on it. But you're taking the kite. So you're taking almost like a little piece of you or a little something to... keep your imagination, or some of you it might be bringing a little bit of the past into a new situation. So you might not be letting go of someone or an idea or something you kind of not considered a part of you, but considered a part of what you're made of, considered like you. And you might be trying to go on to this new place and the shore, remember, water is flowy and things aren't exactly set and things get moved in motion and everything. And you're coming to a place where everything's solid and steady, not solid and steady, but, you know, compared to being in the water, you're on solid ground. And you're taking that concept or that element or that, not tactic, but skill. I don't know. I mean, you could be seeing it as a skill. It could be a, oh, well, this is part of me. But you're taking it and you're taking it onto in a different path. You're taking it onto the dry land. And the other thing with it is I never saw you go try to fly the kite. The kite doesn't belong in the water. And the kite doesn't belong on, well, it belongs on dry land when you're not using it. But ultimately, it does best in the air. So you're taking something that normally is supposed to fly and go above and soar and like float, but really the way it feels is like it flies when it's with the wind and the motion and all that. Almost mental energy. So something that's normally a mental energy thing, you're taking it into something that's solid ground. So again, yeah, you might be taking imagination, things in your head, and or that concept, that mentality of functioning that way. And I'm still going to do this, and I'm still going to have my head in the clouds, or I'm still going to be trying to fly and think this way and think that way while I'm going to this new venture. And I say new venture, I mean, it could just be, you know, you're coming back, coming to the shore. But I feel like for some of you, this is a new venture. And so you're coming to this new venture and you're just like, I got to take a piece of me with it, but I also got to take a piece of the way I function. And the way you're choosing to function is in that mental space. Okay, so let's see what the cards have. I am getting, yeah, let's start. I'm going to open, actually, and this might be a relationship for some of you. It might not be, I mean, but I'm getting to open the romance angels deck. So we will see what this is for you. Spirit, universe, please tell me. Show actually Capricorn and me. Whatever message you have for them for the month of March, especially in regards to the vision. Please give clarity? Yeah, no, clarity to the vision and anything Capricorn needs to hear right now and understand. I think we're just going to pull out cards this time. And I think we're going to do just 3 right now. So I know this says honeymoon, and for some of you, maybe this new venture and this new area is you jumping into a new relationship or a new partnership with somebody. And it might feel like a honeymoon stage, not honeymoon like, I don't think you're fully giving yourself to it because you're taking things from your past or you're trying to hold on to this. Some of you might not be. But the thing about it is, I forgot what I was going to say. The thing about it is that Right. You're questioning it. You're questioning yourself. You might be questioning, okay, is this just a honeymoon phase? Or before you go into it, oh, is this just going to be like a honeymoon phase? Like, is this actually something worth going into? Is this actually worth it? But you're doing it. You're not like wading through the water. By wading, I mean like slow, not waiting. And you're not even swimming to the water. Like at this point, you're standing up, walking there. Like you're fully like, it's funny because you're in the water, walking there. So you're in the element of a flow, movement, emotional, and psychic, or, you know, intuitive. But you're standing on it. So it's like you're standing on ground. Like you're, for some of you, it might be you're solid in, I'm going to keep my feet on the ground while you're going through, even in the water. And for some of you, it might be where you kind of have conquered that, where you're saying, okay, well, I function in this way best, and I'm coming in this element, but I have security enough in my strengths that I can still operate in my strength while I'm in the water. So while I'm in the emotional and psychic and intuitive, I can still operate in this way and not feel guilty about it, or in the water at least. And yeah, I feel the safety and the peace about keeping my feet on the ground. Even if this is a place that normally people would be flowing and water and emotional and, you know, feeling everything through, you might be really not so much in your head, because in your head, almost in your head, but more solid, like action, you know? So you might be in that element while you're in the water. And so this, I mean, even this, it's like they're on a boat in the water. So if you take that same concept, it's like they're not allowing themselves to get immersed by the element of water. They're not allowing themselves to get immersed by the emotional and intuitive psychic realm or element that they could easily be in. So they are on treating this boat as dry land so that they can sit on it and stay dry, so that they can operate in the way that they're most comfortable at that time, so that they can feel safe because they have, I mean, kind of the upper hand, but not the upper hand, but basically they're in their zone. I do notice he has wings there. So this also feels like the whole divine timing and divine guidance. But again, like I said, it's a honeymoon card. I feel like because of the way the rest of the vision is, you might be asking yourself, is this just a honeymoon thing? Or is this going to be so good just because it's a honeymoon thing? Or some of you might have been asking yourself, in bringing what you've brought, I mean, think about it. They have, the one steering has the wings, and it's almost like you bringing the kite. It's like you have an element of air with you while you're on the water, on dry, you know, functioning in the solid. So there might be an element of, is what I'm bringing part of a honeymoon phase? Like, is this too good to be true? Is the angels, the wings, is this that I'm carrying with me too good to be true? And all it was a honeymoon phase. And this is so funny because it says reconciliation. Remember, I said the kite could be a past person. So yes, some of you may be coming to a place of reconciliation with a person. Some of you may be coming to a place of not so much reconciliation, but carrying the person with you. So it's almost like, well, we're on good terms. Not person with you, like physically, but like carrying that, not baggage, but not pacifier, but basically like teddy bear. I need this. This is my comfort blanket. This is my security blanket. Some of you might be carrying that and saying, well, this is your reconciliation. You're still connected to them. There's nothing wrong. There wasn't any bad situation. So you want them with you in this. And whether they're actually with you in it or it's just they're in the back of your mind always and in your heart. So it says someone from your past is returning to your life. And it's funny because I said that's what the kite was. And the kite, it's like, okay, so the kite could very well be for some of you you carrying a past relationship. You carrying your heart still being in a past relationship. And some of you, they could be returning to you, but some of you, it's you carrying it in. And the divine timing is at work in your love life. So yeah, this is basically saying, like, you can think it's a honeymoon, you can think it's this, everything is divinely guided, whether that's the person you're supposed to be with, where you're going, or whether it's just part of your life path and it's exactly where you're supposed to be right now. That's the thing. It's basically saying you're where you're supposed to be, but this is how you're taking it, as far as like questioning things and feeling like it's a honeymoon stage and trying to operate on the physical level of walking there versus swimming there, yet also insisting on taking this with you. And yeah, someone could be returning. I mean, it's kind of interesting because it says someone from your past is returning to your life. So that's a two person thing. But I think it's funny because she's in one light, like a blue tone light, and he has some blue as far as the shading or whatever, but he's in warmer looking. So it feels like one's from one place and one's from another. Like this isn't, for some of you, this could be a long distance situation. For some of you, this could be, it's really funny too, because literally he's behind her, but because of his leg right here, and then the other leg is like over here, but it looks almost like he's like about to like ride piggyback on her. Like get a piggyback ride. Like, and that's the thing too, is if someone's returning to you, like, are you the one that's jumping on them? Or, and by jumping on them, I mean like forcing them to carry your weight, forcing them to accept you in this matter, saying, okay, well, if I'm here, then you have to take me as I am here. Or are you the one that's like her, where it's like, okay, I'll keep you, I'll hold you like my kite, I'll take you with me, but you're on my back and you're a weight. So I know I want to, you with me, but this is ultimately a weight as I go through. So you really have to ask yourself, which one of these are you? Because some of you are this one and some of you are this one. Either way, it's a dynamic where a past person is returning to your life. And some of that might be more your actions and some of that might be the other person's actions. But either way, it also seems, it's not necessarily unbalanced, but it's two very different roles. It's funny too, because the way she's holding him, like even a piggyback ride would be put his head like more right here. The way she's holding him makes it to where like he towers over. He's resting his head kind of on hers. So he's not like, boasting about it per se, but in a way he's increasing her height. So he might be, so the person, one of you may be not lifting the other person up, but being like, giving the other person height. Like, filling in the gaps and making the other person seem better or more secure or stronger than they are if you weren't there. Some of you that's the case, some of you it's different. But either way, the kite goes in clouds, not clouds, but kite goes in the sky. That's why I feel like this is really definitely part of that. And then the water going to that, or the boat in the water. Let me look at this, double check I'm not. Another thing about this is interesting. It says divine timing is at work in your love life. And they've both got the wings, but she looks like she's more accustomed to it. Like she's wrapping herself up, but she looks like she's done it a bunch. This one, she's wrapping herself up the way you do when you're cold with a blanket, or you do when you're a kid and you're putting a towel over yourself and you just got out of the shower. Like it's a very, I want to snuggle. So one of them is kind of solid, and this is how things are going to be, but I'm still covered up and secure and wrapped up, like secure and safe feeling. And the other one is like, I want this to be my home, but I'm still young. So not young, not saying one of you is still young, but that mentality of, I want to rest in this. I want to find safety in this, but I kind of want to let go. Like I want to surrender and be cuddled up. I just feel a very submissive feeling with this one, and this one I feel a lot more, well, this is the way it's going to be, and this is the way this is going to be. And this one's like, okay, well, I'll just take anything I can get. So there's a divine timing is at work in your life, it says worth waiting for, but there's different energies, and this could be your energy different times, or this could be you and the other person's energy. And again, it's a lot of times with these readings, I can be picking up your energies, or I can be picking up a person close to you. The person close to you's energies. It can be a person, but usually it's going to be more you. Also, it's not necessarily just your sun sign. It can be your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars. If you have a lot of elements, or not elements, a lot of planets in Capricorn, then this reading can also resonate for you. I'm going to go ahead and pull one card from this deck. That's what I'm feeling to do. It's the Earth Wisdom deck, Oracle deck. Yeah, it might help if I actually have them facing. Spirit, God, Universe. Please tell me what Capricorn needs to hear or see in regards to this message for the month of March. That's good, actually. What did I say? One card, yeah. Here, I'm going to show you too. And I want to look at this for a second because I'm seeing. Okay, so one thing I see right offhand with this is, the card says heart healing. But these things from far away look like hearts, but up close, they look like individual little, like, sacks or something. Like, they don't all look like exactly attached to be hearts. So it's really interesting because, and they're like pink. So it's like, there might be, even in this relationship or this situation or what you're moving past and carrying with you, choosing to carry with you, there might be a situation where far away it looks like hearts, but up close, it's not that it's bad. Like, up close, it still works and they still function together, but it's kind of a different element. It's kind of different. It says heart healing too. So it might be a situation where you need healing and you need to grow in order to see either what you're going into or what you're choosing to carry with you into this new, not destination, but new venture or relationship or whatever. In order to see both clearly, you might need the healing, your heart healing. And also, it's interesting because I just think about the idea that there's this waterfall right here. Yet, oh wait, actually, yeah, I was looking at the shape of those. I thought they were hearts or something, but I feel like, hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to take it as it is, like, so I know what it is, but I keep seeing that one on top as a heart. So some of these, it might be the concept that there's this waterfall that you can get all this water and you can get, you know what to expect, but you know what element comes from there. And instead, you're over here at this relationship or at what looks like a relationship or what looks like might be love or what looks like that. And it's not saying it's not, but it's not necessarily what it looks like. And you're trying to get, I just keep seeing it like a heart-shaped water, heart-shaped cleansing. You're trying to get your healing and your cleansing, and I feel like soothing. Forget just healing and cleansing, but soothing, almost like soothing a wound or licking a wound. You're trying to get that in the shape of hearts. You're trying to get that in the form of love or in the form of relationships and connections. So you're going to this fruit that looks, it's not bad fruit, but they're not all hearts. I mean, some of them are hearts. And that's the thing too, it's the idea that there's so many here. So it's like, okay, well, this one's a heart. This one's a heart. This one's not. This one's not. So there's some, and it's like when you put your hand there and you're trying to get this soothing and, this, not cleansing. I don't want to say cleansing. I don't feel like this is just cleansing. It is cleansing, but you're not trying to get it. You might need the cleansing, but that's not what you're coming here saying, I need. I'm going to try to do. But when you're doing that, you don't know which one it came out of. So you get all this like, I mean, and some of this might be, for some of you, this might be like really, you're kind of playing the field out there. So, I mean, you're trying to get all this, like, for some of you, love juice, and you don't know which one. It's the heart-shaped one. There is a heart-shaped one there. There is different ones. And because you're doing all of it at once, you can't tell which one's making a difference. Ultimately, this is what you need. But even if that wasn't the case, what you're doing and where you are, you can't see clearly until you get out of the need and the desire to be trying to get the water from here. And this could mean a totally different thing in some ways, but this is what I'm seeing in this reading. So, because this could be a good thing and like, but for this reading, I'm seeing it more. There's a source of water that's the purest form there, and you're trying to get it already used up. and already part of a system. And it's like I said, I mean, I think a lot of you, this is relationships. But I use the word system because it might be familiar. It might be the less scary thing for you. It might be to where you're already here and you don't want to go over that way. And you don't know what this pure element feels like and looks like. And this is like, it's pretty. It's you know what I mean? It's fun. The other thing is she's not fully committed. I mean, she's committed, but she has her hand like this. So it's going to fall off anyways. So again, you're not at a place to be able to receive and keep this because you're wavering. You're not holding your hand still and saying, okay, I'm going to put in the effort, even if it like makes my hand sore, to keep it straight. So it's, again, it's like the other card in the other part of the reading where you're questioning things. Like even in going into the venture coming up, because you're like this, you're questioning. So it's hard for you to get anything out of the kite you're taking with you. I mean, come on, you took it through water. You weren't holding it down underwater, but that's pretty risky. And you can't get anything out of where you're going to because you're taking a kite with you and you're taking your past relationships and past connections. And it might really be, it's not just a past connection or past relationship. It might be a situation where you're taking an element of you that you liked. You liked flying. You liked eating out of a bowl that was empty, yet having so much hope and imagination that it was full, that you can have nothing yet feel completely filled. You're taking that. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, like that, what I just described, but it's that element of being so happy in the nothing. And you're taking that. But the reason why you're taking it, the heart behind taking it, and your heart going into what you're going into, it doesn't look like anything's going to stick. It doesn't look like anything's going to work unless you go to the source of healing, unless you deal with inner healing, unless you quit trying to go to relationships for healing. Because when you go looking into relationships for healing, you just find people more broken like yourself. And you repeat your patterns and they repeat their patterns and everything looks the same and you can't tell what came from what, and you can't even tell which one's you and which one's them. I find it really weird that she has her hand like this, and she could have her hand like this over this hand so that everything goes into this hand. And that one looks a little bit easier to make straight, even though she's not fully, because she has the space, I guess, to where it's letting stuff come out. And yet she's not doing that even. She's spilling it here. Like there's, like, the Virgo sun in me really is bothered by this. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards, but I want to keep this right here. And I believe I'm either going to ask what, like more clarifiers, more, clarity into this message, or I might straight up ask why you're not going here. But like I said, it could just be because this is more fun and familiar. I don't know. Let me see what I'm going to ask. I'm not sure yet. This is the traditional manga tarot deck. So far, every time I've read for Capricorns, I've gotten to use this deck. It's one of my favorite decks. It's beautiful. And it's kind of understated looking, but it's beautiful. I'm just going to ask Clarity. Clarity, whatever messages Spirit wants to give. Messages Spirit want to give for Capricorns for the month of March regarding all of the reading currently. What does Capricorn need to hear or understand in regards to this reading? Universe. What messages does Capricorn need to hear in regards to this reading? This reading, the vision, whatever Capricorn needs to hear. Whatever is still a question mark for Capricorn. What does Capricorn need? I think I'm going to draw... Actually, none. No, or... Okay, I'm putting this on the side. Yeah, I'm just going to overhand shuffle 5 cards. Messages Capricorn need to hear. Okay, is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Messages. There we go. And what I like to do is not really look at them, especially when they go out like that, so I can't tell exactly what's where, what went out. I like to not look at them and then put them out energetically as I feel they're supposed to go. Here, let me scoop these over. Okay. And I don't read reversals, so... I love this deck. It's so cool. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. Let me tell you first off the commonalities right off the bat. Hierophant can be about structure and, you know, everything in its place and everything in the right time and discipline. Authority. But another thing about Hierophant is it's also a matter of bringing the past, your past ways of connecting and ways of reaching the public or reaching people that are kind of old-fashioned or not in the present, at least, are, you know, part of the past, into the present and trying to gain familiarity for yourself and bring back up connection that way. So basically keeping on doing what worked before because to keep familiarity and to reach other people the same way. So that goes very much along the lines of the kite and the other messages we've gotten so far. 3 of Wands is a new path, experimenting, trying to take a different direction. It's almost like a fork in the road situation. You know, there's a new way, an avenue to go, or a new development, like something you can go forward. Or sometimes it's also, say it's like in a working with people situation. You brought out the idea, you connected with other people, now you're getting their feedback. So, but still, it's a new path, a new idea, a new perception. It's not always perception, but yeah. 6 of Cups, so again, it's a reconciliation, not reconciliation, but connecting with the past, connecting with sometimes inner child, but because of these cards and the reading so far, I believe this is actually connecting with a past person. So you've got connecting with a past person. There you go. Okay. So this I'm going to see as holding up this. So connecting with a past person. Again, trying to bring the past into this new thing and seeing if you can get it to function the same way. And Five of Pentacles is basically you've held on to everything you felt, you know, and now it feels like you're at a point to where you're kind of regretting because you kind of lost out because you were holding on to one thing. It's like you had your hands holding on to something to the point to where you couldn't accept other stuff. And now you're kind of lacking. You're lacking in where you should be right now because you were holding on so greedily to something else. And even in the situation of a relationship, that could also be the case. You're holding on to the past thing so much that you're not able to accept the present. But this is kind of past that. This is beyond that. This is where you're not able to accept the present. You weren't. And then now you're at a place of neediness because you're not where you should be and you're behind. Not behind because, you know, it's, you know, things happen for a reason and we are where we're supposed to be and we're supposed to do what we can with what we have with where we are. But you were holding on and now therefore you were kind of not limited, but it's not lacking isn't the word I'm looking for. It is. It's almost like behind. You're or no, it's your growth has been stunted because you were holding on to that. So the path you're on, it was supposed to be accelerated this direction or this way, and you were holding on to the past. So even if your path goes forward and you do go this way, you're not gaining what you're supposed to be gaining in this time because you're holding on to this. So this one, then this one, same message, then this one, all holding up. It's almost like you're saying, okay, let me look at it this way. I'm going to say that I need now. I need. You know, say it's a relationship situation, right? Say it's this happening. All this, sorry, but all this love juice, right? All these relationships or all these connections, all these hookups, whatever it is in your case, different people, it might be different ways. And now you're saying, I need, you know, it's like you're wanting more. You're wanting more attention. You're wanting more connection. You're wanting more attention from a partner or from, not possible or presume, but potential partners. You're wanting more. You're getting needy. And then you're taking that and you're saying, okay, fine. Let me go to this place instead. I'm just going to say, let's just try to get away with it. Let me just bring this into where we are now. Let me see, maybe I can make my current like the past was. Let me try to keep it going. Maybe we can just get away with that. I get this was wrong. Let me try to do it this way instead. And then you're going, you know what? Let me just connect with the past. Let me just bring them back. Let me just bring them back. I miss them. And it might not even just be you miss them. You might miss you with them. And then on top of that, this is what's coming out. This Seven of Pentacles of I need to look at the past and I need to look at the future and I need to decide my actions and I need to analyze things to figure out a game plan and so I can do more efficient work. So I can do this better. And this could be about Pentacles. Like this is Pentacles, Wands, Hierophant, Cups. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. So this could be very much like I'm trying to gather my stuff together, but you've been dealing with relationship stuff too. So trying to gather my stuff together. I'm going to look at everything. I'm going to try to make things work right now. I'm going to try to make things work for the future. Let me try to focus on me. Let me try to focus on building this and being efficient and not just efficient, but not detailed, but have integrity in my work. Okay, I'm going to try to build this at least. If this hasn't been working, if this has been struggling, and I've been leaning on all this, let me try to at least build this up. And then you got this, where it's like, okay, well, maybe this one. Hey, maybe this is a new path. This is a new person. I can experiment on this one. Let me see. Let me try. So it's like you're going like this, and it's all resting on this because you're still holding on to past stuff, not because there's anything wrong with the past thing, and not because it's anything bad for you, but because it's for the wrong reasons. It's because you're literally just because you're needy. And then it goes to here, and yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to say or I need to pull. I get the feeling too with this one, sometimes you might be working really hard and working hard on, building your stuff financially. But to others, you might be giving this phase. So you might be distant and not present and sometimes maybe seeming like you're sulking because of all this pressure and all this confusion while you're working on this. So because of your other actions and your other feelings or fears or motives or whatever, when you go to this place because you're working on this, you could just be seen as distant or sulking. Okay. Yeah, I think that is going to be good for you. Let me know if this resonated. Hopefully, the way things work with these messages is time's fluid, so you can be needing to hear this next week, next month, whenever you encounter this is when you're supposed to listen to it, or when you're willing, you're in a place that you're going to receive the message as opposed to a different time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe whenever you comment. A lot of people don't say this and a lot of people don't realize this, but when you comment, it actually increases, it helps with the algorithm with YouTube, even more so sometimes than liking and subscribing. But it's all part of it. It's all part of it. And let me know what did resonate, what didn't, which group you are, because I mentioned different types of situations you could be in. And my ultimate goal is to help you help yourself and help shed light on things that might need to be noticed so that we can have inner healing, all of us. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.